Hi there, and welcome to today's video on homeschooling family subjects. The subjects we do as a family that each grade doesn't have their own workbooks for. I have found out, and many other homeschool moms, that when you just have a bunch of young children that you're homeschooling, it's so much easier if there's several subjects you just all group together and do together instead of getting for each one by themselves. And when they're young and can't study really on their own well yet, then it just works better. I have a second grader and a first grader and a preschooler that I don't require anything school-wise from her. Well, she does preschool books because she wants to, but she doesn't have to. And a toddler. So these are the family subjects that I do for my children ages 8, almost 7, 4, and 2. We do them all together. Well, the youngest two don't have to do them, but they join us most of the time. My last video was of second grade curriculum choices, and the video before that was, no, not before that. Some time ago I did a first grade curriculum picks video, and you can find those on my channel, or I'll see if I can link them in the description below. But then these are the other subjects besides like their math, their language arts, and all that, which they do on their own, which we do all together. I've been very happy with what I found. So I'm gonna start going through this pile to show you what we do. And every year I know will be different, but this is what we're doing this year. Oh, one more thing to mention. I know a lot of you are about ready to start your next school year. Our school year here in Costa Rica is from February to November. So we're about halfway through the year, and I hadn't gotten this video made till now, but this might help some of you who are looking for family subjects to know what to do. First off, every day, just about every day, unless we're running late, we have what we call circle time. I read a Bible story, we practice songs together, Bible memory, other basic memorization, just all together. The memory work, the singing practice. I have a circle time video too that I'll try to link below. That keeps evolving, but we use the same little box system where we rotate through note cards that have the different things we have memorized or want to memorize. And so I have a section for verses, a section for songs, poems. I have a miscellaneous section where we go over things like safety and manners and things like that. And so you can check that out. So that happens about every day, and trying to read to them a while happens about every day too. I just do one read aloud. We read The Trumpet of the Swan recently, and different books like that, just to give them a broader literature experience. None of my girls read very fluently yet. They do the oldest one especially gets along, but not very fluently yet, and so this is just one more way of giving them words. I don't get to it quite every day. Now, then we have, let's see, I'll go with this first. Science. Science is one of the easiest curriculums to just bunch almost all your children together. I have this from The Good and the Beautiful. We just recently got this. Shipping makes a difference out here. So I had ordered it, I think, from the beginning of the year, but then it didn't get down here till recently. So we had some Abeka textbooks that we were reading through and learning stuff, and because my children love science, especially since they don't have worksheets they have to do. So we learned a whole lot already, but now we got this recently and we're really loving it. You can find plenty of reviews online for The Good and the Beautiful. I won't go into a big review, but it has 30 lessons. So if we did just this in a year, we'd probably do 2 of these. But just learning things from science. It has storybooks, it has some audio stories, has some experiments, which my children really love. And so we've been very happy with that science. We do this now on Monday mornings and on Thursdays, 2 times a week when we do that. Then we have, this book is in Spanish, but it's Good Manners and Health. And we can get it here in the country at the publishing house. And I just usually basically translate it for them. It's at a very simple level. So it talks about different manners and health things, and just has little activities. They don't do the work, we just talk about it. We do this once a week, usually on Tuesdays. And I really like it because it helps me too to know the basic. I mean, I know, but sometimes I forget to teach my children things like good posture or getting enough sleep. So we've been enjoying that this year. It has, I think, also 30 lessons, but we're doing just one a week and we'll till it's done. The next thing we do is this Beginner Geography by Evan Moore. This, and I don't know if I'll get it again because it's nice, but my children know their geography well. They don't have any issues with the continents and the oceans. They know them all already. And so it's just simple worksheets we do. On Wednesdays, we do 3 of these pages. Landforms, continents, different understanding maps and globes and everything. I think it's really good, and they do enjoy it, but I don't think it would have been necessary, though it isn't very costly either, because they can learn it by themselves. So I don't know if I'll get it again, but we just do it together. Divide the worksheets kind of between them both or whatever. The next subject that we do is for history. We're learning the history of Costa Rica as we live in Costa Rica. I got this book. I think it's out of print by now, but I really, really like it. It's just got big, colorful pictures, the basics of Costa Rica history. So whatever your country is, I would encourage you to find a book, something like this. And so I have really enjoyed it because honestly, even though I was born in Costa Rica, I know very little of Costa Rica's history. So it says History of Costa Rica for Children. And we've been reading through it on Fridays, and we got through it now. So then the next thing, I hope every country would have something like this. I recently learned about a company in Costa Rica that makes games. These are a little bit above my children's level because my girls can read a bit of Spanish, but not that much. But we'll still go in learning the information. This is kind of like, I think it's like an old maid version of learning about the different provinces of Costa Rica, learning different things about each province. So, and this one isn't this a cute game? It has a bunch of dates, 80 cards with a timeline of Costa Rica that if you know how to play it or read it well, you go forming the timeline. My children wouldn't be ready for the game yet, but I think we'll try to lay out the timeline and study it and start learning history so that when they're bigger, they can play it well too. And then on Fridays, we also usually do some art or craft. This was another book I just recently got from The Good and the Beautiful. And my girls love to draw. They love crafts even more, but I'm not very good at crafts, so I try to sometimes get something for them. But we also are about every week drawing one of these. I draw it with them. Just simple drawing lessons, and we're learning patience and learning to enjoy drawing and coloring pictures, and then sometimes doing some other arts and crafts, because Friday is our fun day where we do a little bit of the usual book work but not so much, and then we do these extra things. And here's one more book that I don't really use, but it did help me to get started. Homeschooling, Physical Education for the PE Challenged Mom. Physical education, yeah. I think that is the one place where some homeschoolers, not all, because some are very active, but tend to lack in, is because when I went to school, we'd in recesses always play running games, and I remember running a lot. And so I wanted my children to be active, and this book has helped me. It has plans, exercise plans and game plans and everything. I don't exactly go by it right now, but I know that I can get many ideas in here, and I have. And this year, just simply having been able to teach my children, my girls, especially the older two, or especially the oldest has learned already, but they do a lot of, I try to go running, so they sometimes go running with me. They've done cartwheels. They're learning to do cartwheels right now. It's so much fun. I wish I learned when I was younger, but I don't think I could anymore. I broke my arm last December trying to rollerblade, so I better not try cartwheels or I might break my neck. Who knows next? But anyway, cartwheels, skip roping, hula hoops, that kind of stuff, they're doing really well. I do hope that we have the opportunity to put them into more like competitive activity. I don't necessarily mean sign them up for a sport or anything, But especially one of my girls is very, as soon as there's anything competitive or where she might lose in front of others, she backs out, and I think we need to work on that. But these kinds of individual sports she does very well with. Another thing we do is we use Singing Made Easy from Music in Our Homeschool. It's an online course, which we haven't done very consistently, but just to practice singing, learning to sing well with our voices. For me, that's something that I want them to learn to sing with confidence, and I think they've been doing pretty good. And then I'm teaching them homemaking as well, like the normal household chores. My oldest knows how to sew some already. The oldest both know how to make cookies. I'm still always there directing their projects, but they're learning a lot. And they're learning about business, because probably some of you have children who come to you and want to know how to make money, because my husband and I don't really just want to hand them out money. They need to learn the cost of life. And I mean, we supply everything they need and often get them something extra, but they want to earn their own money. And so we put up a little Jello and I don't know, little ice creams, whatever you call it, flavored milk, frozen packages. A little business like that for them. There's a sign out by the road that people can come by and buy those. And so my girls are learning to figure out the cost of business. They pay that back to us as we buy the supplies for them. The work of making a business, and then the extra they get to keep and divide it between the three of them. So it's not like they're earning huge amounts of money, because they're not either selling huge amounts, but they're learning business, and I really like that. And I hope that many of these things, as they get older, they can do them independently, but for now we're working all together. So there's just so much that can be learned homeschooling and all together as a family, and it doesn't have to look for the same for everyone. And I encourage you to find out what you can teach your children and to have fun doing it together. And I think that's it for family subjects. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. The article will be linked in the description, where you can find the links to all these things, almost all of these, if any of it interests you. And we will see you in the next video. Bye.
So that's how it comes out.
Yeah. So it climbs on, just don't touch its wings.
But how can Daddy get him out?
I have to wait and see.